Alright, welcome back to today's video. You can see my beautiful interior. Well, this is what the interior looked like 5 years ago when I picked up the car in the backyard. Now, this is not an interior that looks inviting for my wife to go for a ride in or enjoy in any way, shape, or form. So I had to fix it. You remember the last video, I dropped off my car at the upholstery guy's house, sitting on a bucket. When I picked it up, I sat on a bench. That one. Super comfortable, super nice. Built my own thresholds, Dodge Cummins coronet. And red and white hound tooth. I don't know. You know what it is. Tell me. White leather, red leather top, and it came out phenomenal. I really love the interior. Now, the upholstery guy did show me that I was missing something, the back window, and that's what I'm going to be showing you what I did in this video. You can see my fancy door handle there, some vice grips. What a beautiful thing. Everything's looking good, but I also had him do the trunk. Super happy that I told him to do the trunk, because you can't tell me that's not a beautiful old trunk. Full-size spare tire, ratcheted down. All this carpet he did, and he went up the sides. Its radius matches. He matched that there. I put the logo there, and that hides my speaker box. It's got a heck of a radio in this car. You got to have noise to cover the Cummins. But now back to that little piece. I couldn't find the piece online anywhere at all, and when you can't find it, or you think you might not have the right trim, and there's so many variations, you say to yourself, screw it. So I'm gonna make my own. So I decided to get like a little 6-inch piece. I built the shape, and I said, that would kind of look all right. I think maybe, possibly, maybe not, I don't know. And I went to work, and I used my bead roller, which, if you buy tools and use them, your wife doesn't get as mad. If you buy them and let them sit, you get in trouble. So use your tools, and she stays happy because she's the one videoing. And so you put these different dies in, which is always nice to buy extra dies. And this one puts a little more than a 90. The last one just puts a 90. And the next one just makes a pancake out of it. A flattener dies. So I switch the dies out like that. Boop, 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 boop. And then I flatten it like a pancake. So this is kind of how this whole thing went. But, it's not Vicente's fault that it didn't go good at the end. I thought he just tucked it into the rubber. But instead, he showed me a car, which he actually has a 4-door version of my car, roughly. And his just needs rebuilt. But he had the chrome back molding piece, and I was like, oh, I am missing it. So after I got that seam on the front smashed over, I then put it through this fatty die. It's about a 1-inch fat die radius on it. And what this did was give me a little radius to this. Because you don't want a flat piece when nothing in this car is flat. I don't think there's a flat spot. Oh, under the hood. I built some flat things under the hood. Other than that, there's not really flat spots in this car at all. The trunk, floor, and under the hood. Okay, anyway, enough about flatness. So anyway, this is my homemade brake. Yep, you tighten these little wings on each side. And I just wanted to bend it so that I had the radius, but then I had like a 90 to it. Then I could curvature it to match the window curves, stuff and such. And once I got it somewhat close, I had to fix parts of it with a hammer because, well, nothing's ever right when I do it. This whole car has been a fun cluster of excitement. But hammers fix lots of things, so I got a hammer and I fixed lots of things with it. See me just bending over the edge. See where it must have popped out of my brake or something. I don't know. So then you shrink it and you stretch it. You kind of guess it. And then you go to the car and you climb it. See my speakers box? Oh, right through the X. It's all blacked out. And then you shrink it and stretch it because it didn't fit right. And you go through and you shrink it and you stretch it and you shrink and shrink and shrink. These are my favorite tools, actually. I would love to buy nicer ones, but look at that. So it went from not fitting to not bad, right? Like, yeah. So you mark it. You ever hold a black mark at a white leather roof? Oh, so scary. So you mark it, you kind of keep cruising, and shrink it some more. Back in the car, test it again. Ooh, looking good, right? So once it gets looking pretty good, I took it and I said, looks good. And then I go back out, shrink it, and guess what? I shrink it, stretchy, stretchy, shinky, stretch. And you get all the pieces built. You can see the one there dangling. That's my other piece. I didn't show how I did it because I don't even remember. But this is my 3-piece back window molding. I figured this would work. Basically, I built the pieces that climb up the side, and then this piece in the center that goes across, and then I cut a piece on half that would basically go over the sides, so it creates like a thing. And then I painted them white. Well, actually my wife painted them because she's better at that. I was in the middle of painting this, the dash, because once the car came back, I said, I got to get this thing driving. But there was so much stuff to still do. I think I'll show you first that I painted it, starting to look shiny, and then I finally get the molding piece done, and check that out. Yeah, there's a little gaps you can see, but as the roof is whipped in the wind, guess what? No more gaps. Seat belts. Yes, safety is number one. So I have seat belts in my car. There's 3 lap in the back, 1 lap in the center front, and 2 shoulder belts, which I did in the there. And after all that, you can now see how the car's threshold looks. And man, I think it turned out good. Please tell me what you think. Thank you for watching. Have a good one.